So I was about to just make some lunch and I wanted to quickly just jump on and share my thoughts of the day. I kind of just wanted this to be a reminder that you don't have to be so hard on yourself every day, and I know it's important to keep consistency and discipline, especially when you're trying to reach a goal. Like, it's important to remember that your health and anything in life is a journey, and it's important to give yourself that space to mess up and make the wrong decisions and, fall back and not be as consistent as you want to be. Because I feel like, even from my own perspective, when I think about in the past how hard I was on myself if I didn't sustain a certain habit that was supposed to be good for me. But I kind of figured out over the couple of years that I've been kind of focusing on my well-being and stuff, that me doing that actually discouraged me even more from pursuing, and the whole process of like getting better and feeling better and looking better. And now that I've kind of like relaxed about a lot of those things and learned to appreciate, say, my body for what it is and what it does for me, and not just for the way that it looks. And it's so easy to get lost in that because you're constantly comparing yourself to the body trends that are out now, like, you know what I mean? And it's crazy to think that, like, when I think about it now, it's crazy to think that, because that's not my mindset anymore. And there's literally not a goal physically, like in the sense of aesthetically, that I'm trying to reach with my body. I'm just training my body in the way that feels good. I feed it in the way that feels good and nourished and gives me energy and makes me feel good about myself in general. And I think that's what I've kind of started to put my focus on, instead of just reaching a certain goal of like a certain way of looking. I prioritize more on the way that I feel inside. And I have discussed this before, I think in one of my previous videos, but I just wanted to kind of like reiterate the fact that the way that you look is going to be different from everybody else. And unless you get surgeries to look like a certain person or to look like a certain way, you're never going to be like the person that you want to look like, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, you have to learn to appreciate yourself and love yourself for who you are. And I think that's the whole process of life, is to find the things that you do love about yourself and learn to love the things that you don't love about yourself. And yes, it's difficult, and yes, it's going to take time, but whilst you're here, you might as well practice that. You might as well practice gratitude and self-love and pouring that energy into yourself, and instead of letting outside world determine how you should feel about yourself. And maybe it's easier for me to say this because I was raised by a mum who was always very confident in herself, and that's what I grew up around. But I can't say that I didn't, face my own struggles while I was being a teenager, and trying to not eat as much and trying to lose fat and trying to lose weight and look in a certain way. Because I feel like as a woman, probably 99% of women go through that. So I think it's just a process that everybody kind of needs to go through. And also men, probably, I don't know, I'm not a man, I can't speak on their behalf, but I'm speaking mainly from like the women that have been in my life, that are in my life. I also think everybody has insecurities. I have insecurities, and even now it's like the insecurities that I do have, I don't put them at the forefront of how I feel about myself, and I don't make them the center of my world. They're just there, and I've accepted them, and they are what they are. And I feel like it doesn't bother me anymore, because I've gone to the point of where I accept myself so fully for the person that I am, that I don't need to really think about that anymore. I don't know if that made any sense, but like, it's difficult to explain, because I try to understand from people that may be insecure, like from their point of view, because I never felt that full insecurity in myself. So I'm only speaking from like someone who's had insecurities here and there. And yeah, like, and I've worked through them, and I think it just kind of goes to show that you can work through anything. And I think the biggest thing that helped me was detaching myself from like social media and all of the things that are trending and all of that stuff that is just there to basically make you feel even more insecure, and it's just there to get your money and to feed off your fears, I guess. And yeah, I don't know, this conversation's kind of went off, but I just think not a lot of people talk lovingly about themselves, and that really makes me really sad. And like I always say to people, like, the person that I love most is myself. And that might sound really conceited, but I mean, if I don't love myself the most, then who will, you know? And it's like, if I can't love myself fully, I feel like I can't love other people fully for who they are and accept them for who they are. So I feel like once you start working on that on yourself, you're able to see from other people's perspectives easier, and you're able to love them fully for who they are. Even if you don't have that person in your life, it's still something that really does help in the process of being fully open and just human, I guess. Yeah. I guess that's my little rant over. I'm going to go make some food. I'm not sure what I'm gonna have yet. Might have a bagel. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I hope this has reached somebody who might have needed it. Just a little encouragement on your journey, because if you're on that journey, you will get there. Just keep going and don't be so hard on yourself. I always say that to people, because remember, you're only human. It's your first time here on earth. Everybody's first time here on earth. I'm getting emotional again. Okay, I think it's time for me to go.